Here with head coach Sean Kiracofe after another win this week to start out the season 2-0, and looking at this match and what you guys were able to do, especially in that second and third set, almost polar opposite to how the first sort of played out. Seemed like timing was a little bit off on the offensive side, but settled in, and I know that was a big thing for the match.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of a hangover from beating La Tech. I mean, that's always a great matchup for us, just as a university. And so getting that win, there was a little bit of a hangover to start out the match. And so we were a little bit off. And then, I mean, Grambling came out and played fantastic. I mean, they were really scrappy. You know, the 13, Lindsey Woods, was offensive. They moved it around. The right sides hit really sharp cross and then would change it down the line. I mean, they just did a lot of good things. And we weren't very quick to respond to it. But obviously we settled down enough to be able to get that set, and then things started to go our way and we just kind of eased into it.
It seemed like things turned in that second, a 7-2 run there midway towards the end, and a big set, or I think it was Audrey's second set where she really shined. 3 block assists, a couple kills, and an ace. That maybe pushed us over the edge at the end of the first into the second.
Yeah, I mean, Audrey had a great match. I mean, it was a little bit quiet because other than the moment that you're talking about, it was kind of spread out, her stats. But it took us a little while to get into the second set for us to kind of get to be able to set up our block a little bit better than we wanted. And so the pin blockers did a little bit better job of finding their attackers and cutting off that line of approach to put our middles in a position to be able to get blocks, and then Audrey did a great job with that. And then went back there and had a nice little change of pace serve to get some aces and get them out of system and really kind of break down what they were doing in the first set, and it was a good little spark for us.
Haley had a big night on Tuesday with the aces, and it seemed like everybody was getting into the action tonight. Yep. Rags went on that long run to start the third, and Haley talked about getting out of system. You talked getting them out of system. I mean, it just kind of seemed like it snowballed at that point for a few different times.
Definitely. You know, they started out in a 6-2 and switched it to a 5-1, but they've got a lot of different options at the net that if they want it. And so to be able to get them out of system with a good serve, I mean, just makes it a whole lot easier on your block and your defense. You know, Haley, I mean, just the way it was, we ended up having Haley serve to their libero as well, but just trust her hitting that zone that I'm calling. And I mean, she was ruthless with it and just really, you know, really made it difficult on them. So got on a great run. Rags was getting the ball to move a lot, and that's really difficult to pass right there. And then I'll say Bree's serve is, we have her doing something a little bit different where she's moving back, and it's really difficult to pass because it's just not something that you see a lot. And I mean, to go back, La Tech handled it way better than we expected, but like, you know, I mean, we got on a run with her when she was consistent with it tonight, and it just started to snowball, like you said. Speaking
of Bree, tremendous second set from her. 5 kills, 5 kills, 1 error, the 3 aces that you mentioned. Seeing her step into this attacking offensive role that I know you're expecting her to be this year, so early and showing what she's capable of, got to be very exciting. Yeah. I mean, she had another great match offensively. A lot of good things. There's just a lot of different ways that she can score up and down the net, you know, and us being able to move her around. So that's great to see. I mean, there's still obviously a lot that we need to have her learn as a freshman to be able to be in control in some situations. But when you hit it as hard as she does, I mean, good things happen. Yeah. Recap, if you can, the first two, I mean, significantly, infinitely shorter preseason, new faces finding their way, but your grade for the team after the first 2 matches?
Man, you know, it feels so good to play. It'd be easy for me to say A, but there's no way that we're there yet. So I'll say a solid B. And I could go a little higher, a little bit lower with that too. But a solid B, just because, I mean, we're rough around the edges. You know, like we talked about the other day, you know, just it's been so long since we played somebody else. It's just impossible to gauge, you know, where we are as a team, and you just start to see, you know, well, you see errors that are on your team, but on both sides of the net, and it just adds up really quick, and so you start excuse me, you start thinking, man, well, how's this going to turn out in the match? But I mean, they came out fantastic against La Tech and cleaned up, excuse me, a lot of things, and then to carry it over tonight was really good.
We'll forgive you. You're still, the voice still coming into form.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're good to go. Coach, congratulations on the win, and best of luck as we start conference next week.
All right, thank you.